Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is April 11th, 2021. Howard, what's going on with those sunglasses?
Golf week, Masters weekend. I can't. I'm like Phil Mickelson over here.
Have you been crying because you lost a bet or something?
No, but it was a really good tournament this year.
Good, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Sorry I was late. All right, take us through the markets, my man.
Let me share my screen. All right, so new all-time highs.
Boring every week.
Yeah, for all the large cap indices, and the big difference last week was that all the technology mega caps that we've been saying that they've been lagging, they finally started to wake up and to break out.
Yeah, even Amazon.
All the FANG stocks like Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook, all of them. I mean, they've been building a big base since I don't know when, July basically. So for a very long time, 8-9 months.
Yeah.
And some of them might still remain in a range, but it seems like a week or so before the new earnings season, they started to move up. I mean, obviously, we all know that they're big cash generating machines, and a little uptick in interest rates is not going to change that. So people realize that they could be a really good place to store capital or to get some market exposure if you're not fully invested.
Yeah.
So we definitely saw all the mega cap techs waking up, joining the rally.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that at the same time we also saw the mRNA vaccine plays, Moderna and BioNTech, also breaking out. I don't know if those two are related. And obviously the reason for that could be that AstraZeneca is getting really bad press in Europe.
Well, I mean, bad press is what. There's no. I mean, I feel bad for my friends in Toronto. I mean, Vancouver and Toronto are in a full lockdown, dude.
Yes, exactly. A lot of places outside of the US and the UK and Israel are in full lockdown, and at the same time, a lot of people don't want to get vaccinated with, the so-called old-fashioned vaccine like AstraZeneca. Maybe Johnson & Johnson will have similar issues. And this could be the reason why we saw the BioNTech and Moderna breaking out last week, but also why some of those mega cap techs outperformed. What we also,
I think the prevailing thing is cash is trash. There's just rotation. The transportations are breaking out. It was at the U.S. dollar. The transportation stocks are breaking out. Uber is looking like it may break out here.
well, some of the recovery stocks are definitely looking constructively.
Sorry. Okay.
For a potential breakout. What made an impression on me last week is that IWM, even though it gapped up, it spent most of the week pulling back, and we know how the Qs and the IWM have kind of been moving in the opposite direction since the first vaccine was approved.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, IWM is still the best performing ETF year to date, and it's just digesting gains.
Yep.
But overall, mostly bullish. Bullish price action on the surface. Under the surface, there are not that many exciting moves going on among momentum stocks.
I agree. I think that the big thing that stands out is just the price to sales ratio on all these stocks on the tech stocks are just at all-time highs. So you can just see a correction in some of these that we're trading at, and we're still at an all-time high in price to sales. So as you pull up some of these software stocks or the Now, if we go to crypto, which we won't do today because it's more of the same silliness. There is no sale, so it's like the price to mood uh, is at an all-time high. But the pickings, it's expensive out there, right? Like, so money's floating around. When small caps got a little carried away, people are rotating the fangs. All it's really telling you is cash is people, the flight from cash to anything risk oriented is people are just rotating. People are learning how to trade and invest, and they're reading up and they're studying their textbooks and they're acting like the textbooks in a way. But man, how do you argue with Microsoft, like, and
Yeah.
Google
I mean, all of them, so much strength
and Facebook on the VR stuff? I'm starting to like, saw my first few on the Facebook side. The Oculus is cool, right? Like, I'm starting to see my first
Yeah.
use cases of things on Oculus that even I would play with. I saw TradingView has like an app where you can see charts, and I mean, listen, I can stare at the screen, so I wouldn't use it for that. But I'm starting to see more and more people talk about experiences with the Oculus, and you can just see Facebook setting up here. What is it? It's like a 3-year base. If we go back and look at the weekly.
Yeah. I mean, this is
So
exactly the
yeah,
reason
year and a half. Yeah.
right here, right? Remember,
Yeah.
Oculus. Definitely, virtual reality is here to stay, and it will only become bigger.
Yeah, I mean, it's only trading at 25, 30 times earnings. So it's not cheap, but like cash is worthless and getting more worthless. What did they print 4 times? Like, it's just, these things are all going to come back to haunt us. But right now, you can just see it in the rotation. People are just saying, I'll take stocks and I'll take the risk that goes along with it. And to be honest, like I said, we were flipping through Snowflake and Unity, and some of these in the Chinese, they are like in a bear market at some. Like, if you look at Snowflake, even though it's a joke, it's in a bear market. If you chase that thing, you are hammered. And if we look at Zoom, one of my favorite companies, it's just still expensive. It's in a mini bear market. It's been sideways for 6 months.
Yeah, but biotech too. I mean, not everything is that great in the market right now.
Unless the market rolls over, though, these are going to resolve to the upside at some point because cash is trash. That's my guess, unless there's some kind of new event. But we just had a pandemic. So I don't know what the new event will be other than, I mean, Canada's still living through it, and so is Italy.
Most
And
Europe, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
I mean, it's sad. I mean, it's just basically sad. People are just left to casino. I think the biggest story this week will be Coinbase. We don't, I think the ticker is going to be Coin. But if you look at the tokens FT, and we can't pull them up here, but if you go to CoinGecko.com, you type in CoinGecko, Ivan. We'll just start using that. GE. Yeah. Oh, so you already know. Look at you. Is that because I said it, or have you?
No, I've never used it before.
Wow. So that's because it was listening to us. Okay. So if we go and you type in Binance in the search up top there on the top right. This is the proxy for, this is going to be the rage, or this is going to be the story all week. It's up another 11% this weekend.
Where is it?
Obviously not the best site, but if you just go to the 101 year, yeah, this isn't a year, Ivan. This is just a token. It's not even, it's a proxy for the governance of this. Okay, so these are not even things that the institutions, this is for people that use Binance. These are just like literally the people that love Binance have just owned the token. It's hard to get my head around this, but this is trading as a Coinbase proxy. The other one would be FTX, or the FTT token, which is just an incredible product. Another exchange. I guess we got to find a better. Yeah, the FTX token right there. This company is on Fuego. All the institutions are using it. There we go. So this is what, a 60 bagger in the last, I don't know, 3 months, Ivan? This is not fake money. So this is, obviously these gains cannot continue. But the money seeking risk as it rotated out of biotech and as it rotated out of Snowflake and some of these software companies went into even riskier, thinner assets. And part of the thrill of this, Ivan, is going on all weekend. I don't know if you followed any of this stuff, but like all weekend, these tokens are moving and the institutions don't even know how to like participate for the most part. So it's really an interesting time. But anyways, not to bore everybody with that, but these are the two proxies, FTT, FTX token, and Binance. I've been watching them intently as a Coinbase. The other one in the public markets is FTCB, which, I don't want to talk my book, but it's eToro, which was in a SPAC.
Which one?
Frank, Tom, Charlie, Victor. And they're the SPAC that merged with eToro. V is in Victor. I didn't know you didn't know this one. FTCV.
C.
V.
V.
V is in Victor.
Oh, okay.
So this is also trading as a proxy now to Coinbase. So it's, right now I think that's about 13, 14 billion, which is a huge company that I was an early investor in. And they were a SPAC at about $10. And it's one of the SPACs really doing well because it's right now trading as a proxy to Coinbase as well. So for people, this will be volatile, but this will trade like that. Elsewhere, I think eBay still looked interesting to me, Ivan. I don't have a lot of ideas because I'm still, my stuff is kind of working, but that base looks good. I mean, the boring fangs are doing well. McDonald's broke out finally, and I'm fascinated by McDonald's because I own it, but more because they have upgraded their tech at the drive-throughs. Like, it's incredible. If you go to any other drive-through, Ivan, I just went to Dairy Queen and they're still like 1950s technology. It took me like 7 hours to order a junior dip cone with Rachel and Ellen. We were just giggling how bad it was. And if you go to McDonald's, it's really like so efficient to go to the drive-through. Like the sound is good. They don't like everything. You don't go to McDonald's, do you?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay, their coffee is better than Starbucks. So I refuse to go to Starbucks. So I like my McDonald's weak coffee. And the breakfast burrito before I go riding is just heaven, like 6:30 in the morning.
All right.
So that's McDonald's. I'm trying to think what else. MasterCard, all the like big.
Maybe so many breakouts. I mean, Yeti, also a lot of the furniture stores.
Listen, I'm wealthy. I can't afford a Yeti product. Can you do you use Yeti products?
No, but I know the stock and I've been trading it. So.
Okay, so what's Florin Decor?
I have no idea, but the charts rising and it's very.
Well, Restoration Hardware, I'm just kicking. Maybe my worst fuck up of last March was Restoration Hardware. But everybody should know that like people make mistakes. But this Restoration Hardware just will not give me a chance. I just can't buy it up here. But look at the earnings. It's trading at like 20 times. I mean, they won. Like if it's Wayfair and Restoration Hardware. By the way, we said Wayfair was going to break out. Where's that? It's so short of this stock. Like when this goes, it's going to double.
It's setting up potential.
I'm just like, but I'm more fascinated by what's happening in crypto. Have you looked at those charts before, Ivan, that I just shared with you? Is that not incredible? What's happening?
That's incredible. I mean, those 2,000%.
I'm surprised you don't have an account at Binance.
I don't. Like I stick to just to stocks for now, and then some ETFs.
Boy, what an old
even
old grumpy McFreddy.
I wouldn't mention it publicly, Howard, since I got hacked 3 years ago for that. So,
you got what? Oh right, you got
hacked for because of Bitcoin. So I'm not going to talk about it. So
how much? 10 grand more?
No, nothing was stolen, but I lost my Twitter account and a bunch of other things. So
Oh, right.
it's
I
not,
remember
not
you lost your
something
Twitter account.
like I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk about. So yeah, I
All
rather
right. It's a
just
sore subject, everybody. So please
uh,
send your tweets to @IvanHoff2. What's your new tweet account?
Ivanhoff too. That's it.
Everybody loves you, even though you've been hacked. I've been hacked before. It's not fun. Any other like fresh ideas that you see here?
All the semiconductors are looking good.
Oh,
The whole
right.
sector is kind of consolidating sideways, digesting gains after
Yep.
breakout.
How's NVIDIA doing? Intel broke out, NVIDIA broke out.
Strong. NVIDIA broke out, setting
No,
up
Applied Materials broke out. I think that's the one that broke out.
one of the first one. Yeah, the semiconductor equipment stocks definitely the first one to break out, but then they were joined by the rest of the semis like NVIDIA and Qualcomm, which they don't make chips, they just design them.
What about the home builders? We were checking
TSM
out.
makes all the chips. Computers new all-time highs on Friday. Definitely a lot of strength in this sector.
Oh my goodness, we were talking about this for weeks. They broke out. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I'm making money. You making money, Ivan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're long. I mean, that's the name of the show, Momentum Monday. I mean, at least we've been on the right side of this. It's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel for the most part. There's a mini bear market in certain select software stocks. How's DocuSign doing? That's the other Zoom. That was the other COVID stock. I think it's doing better than Zoom.
A little bit better, but still
Oh,
below 200-day. For whatever reason, Peloton is doing a little bit better than them, even though
really though, it's still on a 30-40%.
there's so many, alternatives.
I own it, obviously. Lulu's been in a mini bear market. But again, these things have had such great runs.
A lot of the consumer discretionary stocks
Yeah.
showing a lot of strength, all the retailers, people are.
I think you're seeing Lulu deal with the fact that everybody with a Shopify account selling yoga apparel, including Peloton. So you're seeing, and I just think Shopify is just a behemoth. I've ridden it. That's one of my biggest positions.
It's still looking great right now. So
if you look at eBay 20 years later, it's at all-time highs, and you think where Shopify is going to be and e-commerce is going to be, I think Shopify, Amazon, what is it? Etsy look great still.
Yeah, Etsy, all the social media stocks, Twitter.
There's no real good entries, so it's almost like you have to buy the broken down software stocks and play the rotation.
Well, if there is rotation, basically you just need to own the ARC, basically. That's what they own.
Here's my thesis. Here's my latest. Everybody's, it's almost as with, I feel like everybody's over diversified, but then software came along and now the software is eating the world. I think you can own 100 software companies because you can't predict which one's going to be the one. And none of these go to zero. So it's like the more software stocks you own, the better. It's like I have to revisit my whole thesis about over diversification, because right now with all the crypto I own, I've got to own 40, 50 positions, and it's actually working for me, owning more positions right now. And it shouldn't, so I think there's something to be said about this software boom and the rotation within software now, being that you can't just pick 6 or 7 of these to be diversified. You can diversify with 50 to 100 of these because there's so many winners. But anyways, I'm working through some studies on that. But I'm starting to think that hedging software with more software is the way to do it. Anyways, have a great week. Everybody have a great week. Thanks, Ivan.